DongRaeGu as the replacement. Seeing as how he recently won an Alima League, he beat Innovation, he beat Trap, and he beat, I think it was Impact or Armani in the finals. So he had like an amazing online cup run. So I was like, dang, let's try and get DRG up in here. Anyway, here he is in the top left-hand side of the map. It is DongRaeGu playing for the Afrika Freaks.
And in the bottom right, it is the red Terran player. It is Bunny. He's currently playing for Kaizi Gaming, which I don't know a lot about them. Let's take a look at that organization.
They are one of the Chinese teams.
Yes. They
And
currently have Deer, Innovation, Nice, and Time are all on this team.
Yeah, DongRaeGu is still on the Afrika Freaks, right? Because he's got a Team GP thing here, so maybe he's pulling double duty. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Afrika Freaks, according to Wikipedia. Not that they're the end-all, but they're usually pretty right.
They usually are pretty good, yeah, for the most part. Unless you're checking out like a 6-year-old article or something, and you're like, this has not been updated in a long time.
None of this is up to date at all. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as
no proxies? Yeah, go ahead.
As per Afrika World format, we have got ourselves 2 best-of-5s leading into a best-of-7 finals. And yeah, as you said, no proxies.
Yeah, no proxies, no pool first play. Both players are playing incredibly standard for what the meta is here in 2020. Reaper on the way. There's going to be a pool finishing up, a couple lings, and a queen. And then we'll see what happens after that. Usually going to be a third base from the Zerg player. Bunny might start making a third CC inside his main base. The macro style seems to be the more traditional style, unless it starts out with a proxy, which again, we're not seeing yet. Or we will not see here.
Yeah, it's kind of like the macro renaissance for Terran lately. Terrans, I think, really got a big buff from the Infestor changes going into the late game, so they're not quite as terrified to go into the late game against a Zerg. And so that's quite exciting, as it's giving the matchup a lot more depth. Some kind of new play styles have been coming out. Personally, I haven't seen Bunny's TvZ in a while, but I do know that Innovation, who's playing later today, has basically just been playing like purely Marine Marauder against Zerg in some matches.
So no Widow Mines, no Thors, no nothing.
Yeah, and he just drops non-stop and hits every base that he possibly can with his insane mechanics. And then it's weird because usually eventually the Terran's sort of drop play gets shut down by mutas, gets shut down by infestors or something, but that never seems to come anymore. Oh, Bunny.
Look at this delay.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there was a chance for him. He could have gotten that drone. I think he probably would have had to sacrifice the Reaper to go for it. But man, what's up, Gayfish? What's up, Mike Hughes in chat? How's it going? Thanks for stopping on by and watching the live Starcraft 2 cast today.
Yeah, welcome everyone. It is good to be casting more live Starcraft. If you guys do have any feedback regarding the audio, we had to tweak 1 or 2 things, so let us know if it's all working fine. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do. So the recent TvZs that I've seen, it seems like a lot of the games turn into about 40 Banelings are made. And they just roll on into the Terran as these Lings try to get some stuff done. I don't think they're going to accomplish much. Yeah, they got the mule, but I'm not sure if it was going to expire anyway.
Yeah, it was about just over halfway or halfway done or so, so not a bad pick-off. Couple of Lings for an SCV and a mule.
But I remember especially one game, Sue versus Cure, where Cure played a great game. His macro was good, he had a bunch of bases, and then Sue was just like, I'm making 40 Banelings and we're going. And it was like, I don't know what you do. Like, you can't adequately split against 40 Banelings.
No.
Like, maybe, well, what they are planning on doing, like the proposed balance is they get rid of the 5 HP buff for Banelings, which means that tanks can one-shot them now.
Oh, does it? Oh.
That's what the proposed balance change would be. So that's the huge thing. So yeah, if that happens, you get a couple tanks, they get a splash on one pack of Banelings, wipes it out, and suddenly you're feeling better about yourself. But yeah, I mean, right now I don't know if you need to start making additional tanks to handle this, because it sure seems like your bio is not going to be enough in a defensive position.
Yeah, that is one of the exciting things about TvZ that we're seeing as of late, though. There is so much more diversity in the matchup.
Yeah.
I'd say as of late. Like, for example, right now we are watching Bunny. He's got 9 Hellions. That's literally an odd number. So things are a little bit odd this game. 9 Hellions, a couple of Banshees. He does have the armory, so he is going to be looking to put on some pressure, but this is off the back of 3 bases. So he's going to have a very strong macro follow-up to this. And pressure's on to DongRaeGu.
You don't have any banelings or roaches or anything? Holy crap. He has to
1 roach.
He has to evacuate the third base. Banshees are here too. This could be really problematic for DongRaeGu. Ling's getting roasted up here. Roaches are starting to pop now out of these eggs, but the Banshees helped pick them off very easily. Are they just going to try to take down this third hatch? This is incredible.
I don't think they'll get it. So DongRaeGu actually gets off pretty lightly there, as he just ran the drones away. The second that those Hellbats showed up, DongRaeGu said nope, and just ran those drones away, and now they are returning back to mine, and the Spire is about done for the Zerg player.
Yeah, this feels like mutas. I'm seeing that more and more in the matchup recently. That's 8 mutas in production. I don't know that I trust it outside of a handful of really elite Zerg players like Serral, like Dark, like Raynor, or Rogue. It just feels like outside of the hands of those players, the mutas all just die and don't get much done. But we'll see what DongRaeGu can pull off here today as the Banshees continue to poke on in, see what damage they can find as 2 drones go down.
Yeah, I did actually cast a few DongRaeGu games lately, his Alima League games, and he did use mutas in some of them. And he did quite well, so I'm excited to see how well he can do against Bunny with them. I mean, as you said, it's easy for a Zerg to kind of throw a game with mutas.
Yeah. That said, Serral Innovation, man. Best of series, they had a Stay-at-Home Story Cup, best of 7. 2 straight games, mutas just showed up, and Innovation was entirely unprepared for it.
DongRaeGu is a little unprepared right now, too, losing 7 SCVs.
Yep, he did. Yeah, he didn't have any turrets at the natural when those mutas showed up, but he did at least have army in position to defend against it. Yeah. Another turret coming up at the third base, and
wow, I mean, look at these mutas.
Yeah, they're making sure that turret will never get constructed. There's a cancel there coming on in. That is not enough mutas to take on a missile turret that's being repaired, so DongRaeGu very intelligently gets the heck on out of there.
Yeah, I think DongRaeGu got plenty of damage done to his opponent, though. Bunny was at 49 SCVs, and DongRaeGu picked off, 12 workers, so a really healthy amount of damage. The mutas still giving Bunny grief. That count is continuing to grow. And, Bunny has really been slowed down by these mutas.
Yes, I'm really surprised. There you go. Thor production is now beginning. I'm surprised he didn't start a Thor as soon as those 7 mutas showed up. But, yeah, missile turret shots are good. Denying a refinery is this third base on the low ground. And this is how you got to play mutas. You never hold still with them. You're always finding damage. And you really try to avoid flying over Widow Mines and large packs of Marines, because you will lose Mutalisks in that situation.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, it can be really chaotic for the Zerg when, say, the Terran's dropping all over the place and trying to get damage done to the Zerg. But for now, DongRaeGu is just flying around with these mutas. Bunny's completely kept at home, and so he can get these little pickoffs.
And you can't drop when there are this many mutas out on the field either. They'll find your drops, your medevacs, and absolutely crush them. He's got to do a more traditional land-based attack, which he might be pushing out for right now. Good number of Marines, got a tank carried by a medevac here, got some Hellbats for all the Lings.
Okay.
He knows there can't be many Banelings yet because of all the mutas, but look at that, 13, 14 Banelings in production now. Will they finish in time?
This could be a game-deciding fight we're about to see. There is 3 siege tanks at the back for Bunny. It's all going to depend on the shots they get on the Banelings, how well he splits his units. Mutas, Banelings, and Lings kind of getting baited in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that got as much damage done as he wanted it to, but hey, counterattack of Lings coming into the third base of Bunny, picking off reinforcing Marines as they come on out. This poor group of Marines left behind gets obliterated, and the tanks are trying to hold on here, but so many Banelings. The mutas jumping on top of the tanks. The Roach is getting involved in the fight there as well, and that should be able to pick off the tanks on the front line. That fight does get picked off, but Bunny has another follow-up here.
Yeah, the follow-up could be a little bit scary for DongRaeGu. He managed to clean the tanks out, but he does lack the Banelings right now to actually push back this many Marines, it would seem. Bunny, however, is playing it safe, not capitalizing on the lack of Banes, because for all he knew, there could have been some morphing back already. So, I'd say this has gone pretty well for DongRaeGu. Pulled his opponent back, he's stayed alive, he's on 4 bases. Muta's flying out once again to be on the offense. Got to be careful, though. Going to fly right into a bunch of Marines. Turn around, though. So far, good Muta control has been seen from DongRaeGu.
Yeah, he's only lost 3 Mutalisks so far, which I'm really impressed by. That said, you notice that drop isn't trying to land anywhere near a base. He's really worried about Mutas finding him. He's landing outside, and then maybe he'll charge on in. Looks like, oh, DongRaeGu challenging that 3rd base of Bunny, getting into that mineral line a bit. And it looks like no SCVs down. Great pull, but the wall is destroyed. It must be replaced.
This base going to be getting pressured a bit by these Marines. Will DongRaeGu be able to react in time to save it? These Marines are on 2-2 and put out a lot of damage. Looks like this drop will get the hatchery. These Marines are probably forfeit, though.
Yeah, everybody on that mission, suicide mission, but they did take down the hatchery, which is a huge deal. It is getting replanted, as you do if you're an elite Zerg player, as DongRaeGu is playing right now. So very nicely done. That is so many bangs.
Oh, it's that 40 Baneling count you were talking about.
Yeah. Here we go. Widowmines need to get some godlike hits on this, but if you have enough mutas, you can actually kill Widowmines before they fire if you have detection, which is so incredibly good right now. Here we go, just coming in the front door.
Most of the mines are
crashing on
detonated.
top of everything. The Thor gets saved and pulled to the back, but I don't know about that 3rd base at all. The SCV is getting massacred, pulling back to the natural, and I mean, at this stage of the game, even if Bunny isn't dead, he is in a terrible spot.
Yeah, Bunny taking a lot of damage. Keep in mind, though, DongRaeGu did trade out 40 Banelings, which is quite expensive and tough to replace for the Zerg player. Bunny lost 12 SCVs. I'm not even sure that was completely worth it for DRG. I still think he's in a good spot, but man, that was 40 Banelings, which is quite expensive.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and yeah, I thought for sure that 3rd base would die, but he does have a 4th base too. Enough mutas to make sure that missile turret dies, but can't really stick around as the Marine reinforcements come in. How many mutas have gone down? It looks like 8 mutas have died, which is not bad considering how many he's made and how aggressive he's been with them. Cast a Raynor versus Innovation game a few weeks ago where Raynor ended up losing like 52 mutas.
oh gosh.
And he did not win.
Oh, that's just painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to win a game when you lose 52 Mutalisks in it.
Yes, that's a lot of gas.
Yeah, so Bunny has been on the back foot for quite a bit. This is an incredible match number 1, I just want to say as well.
Yeah.
3-3, though, is on the way for DongRaeGu, Adrenal Glands, whereas the Terran has just managed to afford +3 attack. So it does go to show how DongRaeGu is starting to secure a lead, and it will be a bit of a tricky spot for the Terran player once that Zerg reaches those upgrades.
Man, hatch down again, and once again, everybody involved in the attack dies, but that's a fair trade for Bunny. I think it's okay losing all that to kill that hatch.
That does slow the Zerg down quite a bit, particularly since DongRaeGu hasn't been double expanding. He's got a decent mineral bank, so taking 2 hatcheries at a time is a good idea, and we do see him do that now. Bunny does have another drop planned towards this location. Overlords do spot it.
And neither of them die, which is interesting.
Those
Push
Overlords
up the middle while DongRaeGu is responding to that drop in the top right. I kind of like this. Although this is where all the Mutalisks are, never mind.
Yeah.
So group in the top right should be able to hang at least until the Banelings roll in. Engagement in the middle looking really good for those Baneling connections right now. So many hits. Trying to magic box the Thor a bit. It does not. Oh, it does manage to escape with its life. It gets dropped at the last second.
Yeah, good micro from Bunny, splitting his army. Supply is actually in the lead for the Terran. The Terran is on 4 bases, which is quite a strong Terran. DRG also just on 4 bases, so I mean the economy is kind of in the lead for the Terran at the minute. Still, we see a 5th command center on the way. Bunny is starting to churn out more and more Marauders, which is a way Terran can counter that mass Baneling count.
but again, these Marines have really good upgrades. They almost have +3 armor, which is really good to have too against these mutas. Yeah, Bunny, he's got 131 to 94 army supply in the lead. Some Banelings dying without doing anything for DongRaeGu. And this isn't a huge push from Bunny, but it's looking pretty scary.
Yeah, this could be a strong timing for the Terran. 3-3 not quite yet done for the Zerg. Ultras, their cavern is out, but there isn't one in sight yet. 3-3 does complete for the Zerg, however, so this is going to make the Ling Bane much, much stronger. DongRaeGu is going to decide to take the fight. Banelings and Lings spill forward. Bunny kites backwards, pulls as far away as he can, but it looks like this attack will be shut down. Mutas are falling, though. A lot of Marauders on the ground.
There's not a lot of bio here, but it's only Ling and Muta left. Without Banelings, it's hard to clear this out. That said, Marauders real bad against Zerglings, especially when they have the upgrades that they do.
Yeah, they're also real bad against Mutalisks, so these boys just have to run away home. Bunny's dropping mules at his third base, trying to keep his economy going. He's microing as well as he can with his small amount of units. His production is trying to keep up to the Zerg that is spilling forward. Looks like Bunny may just be able to hold, but his supply has dropped sufficiently with that attack being shut down.
Muta control from DongRaeGu is so good. I feel like I haven't seen him lose just a large pack of them yet. I'm sure they've died here and there, but he's avoided that Widowmine hit. He's avoided that big pack of Marines just wiping out huge numbers of his guys. That was a good Widowmine hit. 27 kills on that guy.
Oh. Yeah.
Dead impressive. All right, so yeah, 164 to 119 supply. Nobody's really maxed out, but Bunny is definitely in a worse spot. Hey, look, a big Widowmine hit on the Mutas. Just as I was saying.
Oh, can Bunny keep that 5th base alive? It looks like he will be able to, which is so, so important for him. As if he does keep that base alive, it'll essentially be a 5-base Terran to a 5-base Zerg. Both players are starting to mine out. And so, while Bunny has been, I'd say, consistently behind this game, he isn't dead yet. But that's what these Ultras could be for, as they charge towards the 3rd base.
Oh, the Ultralisks, though. What do we have as an answer to an Ultralisk? Some Marauders. We have exactly 0 Marauders on the ground right now.
Oh, that is not good. This one Thor, strong, but not strong enough. Looks like Bunny's 3rd base and Natural are being compromised.
He just doesn't have any answer to Ultras at all. He doesn't have anything that kills him. So he's trying to make Marauders, but 4 at a time when there's already 4 of them, 5 of them. At your natural base is bad. Look at the supply, 175 to 102 supply right now. Just too many bases. The aggression from Bunny is trying to make stuff happen, but at the same time, the defense is ready for it from DongRaeGu. These Ultras, again, the upgrades are just so good. The Marauder stimming in. Widowmine hits, and that Ultra will go down, but he's going to take a lot of bio with him before he does.
Yeah, DongRaeGu has just been playing magnificently by pressuring his 5th base while also going for an Ultra attack. At the Natural, we now see the Zerg going forward. DongRaeGu wants this kill move. He doesn't want this game to go on any longer, and I think it very well could be about to end. The 5th base is going to fall, and that 5th really was the one thing Bunny had going for him in this game. He can micro this bio all day, but he will not keep up to DongRaeGu.
Yeah, that's it. This Orbital Command is dead. He's trying to kill the Ultras. He'll kill maybe 1 or 2 of them, but 67 leftover supply for Bunny right now. His economy's in the toilet. He has no income comparatively, and GG!
GG.
DongRaeGu takes the 1-0 lead in our best of 5. That was a great opening match. Wow. Dude, 551 APM on average for DongRaeGu. What is this?
He's been eating his Wheaties.
What does he think he is? TLO? Jeez.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, as you said, he didn't really make any silly decisions with his mutas, like he ate 1 or 2 Widowmine shots, but sort of to like how, say, a top Zerg like Raynor might do, there's times which Raynor will fly over an entire pack of mutas. We haven't seen DongRaeGu or fly over an entire pack of Marines. We haven't seen DongRaeGu do that yet. He really takes care of his mutas.
Yeah, some of the control that he had, especially when he was in enemy territory, was just beautiful to watch. He's really playing very well. I am super impressed with him. Is he going to be our first guy to come back from military service and like get back to an elite level?
He could be. He's looking good. I think he qualified for the TSL
Yeah.
And he did that in the second qualifier, not the last qualifier, which I'd say is notable. He won the Alima League. He's 1-0 against Bunny right now. Also, before we load into the next game, I want to say big thanks to Zyklon, who contributes $30 to the Matcherino page. That is $30 extra that we're going to spread amongst these players. Thank you so much for supporting these pro players.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you too can donate directly to the Matcherino pool. Just go to the link up at top of the chat here. I think it's in there. Is it?
It should be on.
It is.
There we go.
There it is.
Just turned it
code AW57 to throw free money at these players. Do it between games when maybe stuff isn't happening as much, and they will say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Here we are in the bottom left-hand side of the map. He's up 1-0. The one true DongRaeGu.
And in the top right, it's Bunny. He's got some work to do.
Yeah, and he's up to no good.
Isn't this 58?
It is 58. Did I link the wrong one?
So the code...
Oh.
The code, it just says AW57.
Thank you for telling me to correct that.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Somehow, we increase intervals by 1, and I messed that up.
It happens.
All right. Double barracks from Bunny. Bunny had to think for hours to come up with this strategy that he's about to use against DongRaeGu. He pondered, he stayed up all night, just staring at a whiteboard which had all sorts of gibberish written on it. And he's like, what can I do to take down a Zerg in match number 2 after I lost a macro game? And then
and the answer is a proxy. Are you converted to my way, where even if this doesn't kill the Zerg player, there's a good chance the Terran will win anyway?
I'm not doing it on my ladder games yet, but as far as pro players do, just do it. Just send it.
Yeah, agreed.
Poor Zergs.
Just go for it, man. Your chance of coming back, you are very capable of winning anyway. So that pool's finishing now. The Marines are at the house. There's a bunker in production at the same time.
Oh, and one on the high ground, too. If this bunker on the high ground gets up, that is horrendous for DongRaeGu.
Is that bunker in range of that hatch?
The high ground one?
No, the low ground one.
Yeah, I think it is. Marines get a +1 range once they're in a bunker, so...
Alright. It just feels like it's just out of range. We'll see.
Yeah, he may have to do the little dance which you pop in and out.
Dude, that bunker's gonna finish.
Oh my god.
DongRaeGu is in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he's making a spine crawler, which I enjoy. He's making a bunch of lings. It looks like he's just gonna try and flood this. With the spine, I'll say there is a chance he can break this. DongRaeGu has been picking off, or trying to pick off, Marine reinforcements. There is 7 Marines here for Bunny, which is a lot of firepower, but once again, the bunkers are kind of split up, so there's a chance DRG can break this. He brings the Queen forward to tank the Marine shots, which I want to say is huge. The Ling's not getting focused down. The bunker on the high ground is going to get shut down. The spine crawler is super tanky. There's Queens to transfuse. I think DRG has held this.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't just throw out both bunkers on the low ground.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a little bit better, but it's time to pick up and head home, Bunny.
Yeah, double bunker is really, really light as far as the commitment to a 2-racks. Like, you've already committed to the 2-racks, build 3 bunkers. Or yeah, I mean, and Bunny is in trouble right now. DRG has speed. This game's honestly over, I think. Like, there's nothing back at home for Bunny. And I know you say that Terrans can transition from this, but he did nowhere near enough damage. That's it.
Woo! All right. DongRaeGu says, not me. You try to proxy me and I shut it down. I win.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting choice from Bunny. I still feel like double bunker on the low ground would have been superior in a lot of ways, but all right. Bunny is way better at this game than I am, and especially Terran, so I'm not going to second guess him that hard, but that is a quick 2-0 lead right now for DongRaeGu against Bunny, an elite Terran player who's been around the block a long time and many times today in his career. So, I guess check out that Matcherino page again. There's a link up there in the chat. Again, AW58 allows you to throw 50 cents at these players. No cost to you. No obligation to you. We're not going to send you spammy texts or spammy emails. Just 50 cents done.
Nope, not unless you specifically ask for them, and you'd
Right.
probably have to pay extra for that.
Right. Right. So we're getting into game 3. Bunny's got to feel a little discouraged. He's like, man, I don't feel like I was in a great position in that macro game, and that proxy got shut down pretty hard. Let's see what Eternal Empire has for us. Fairly standard map, some good places for Terran to set up. We'll see what he can do here against the DRG.
Yeah, you know what I gotta say? Bunny's heart was not in that 2 Rex.
Didn't feel it, huh?
No, I didn't feel it. Bunny was like, fine, I guess I'll 2 Rex, but his heart wasn't in it. And that's why he lost it.
I don't believe in it. Yeah.
Bunny is top 16 Code S, though. I want to point that out. He's no slouch, even though he's not looking too hot in this series. However, I mean, coin flip 2 racks, then losing a long, pretty close macro game. So we'll see if he can change it up. In the top right-hand side of the map, playing for the Afrika Freaks, it's DongRaeGu.
And in the bottom left, his back is against the wall. It is Bunny. I need to step away for about a minute. I'll be right back.
That is fine. Seeing as how there's no 2 racks just yet, Falcon is not going to miss much. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in today. There's over 600 of you which is watching, which is awesome. Make sure to spam that 1-up button. And if your friend asks what you're doing this evening or afternoon, say, I'm watching some awesome Starcraft 2 with some R8 commentary. Okay, now we have got DongRaeGu just going for a hatchery, going into the extractor, then into the pool. Just keeping his cool. Whereas Bunny, gonna have to think of something. I'm not sure what I'm feeling for Bunny this match. As in game number 1, he had gone for... In game number 1, Bunny had gone for a macro game, but he didn't seem to have like a plan. Like, he was just kept back at home by the mutas after that odd Hellbat attack. And I mean, that wasn't bad, but then it's not like he started dropping super quick out on the map due to the mutas. So the mutas getting that damage done early on really, really messed with Bunny. DRG just getting up his hatchery, making his 6 safety lings, sending a drone who's going to explode into a mound of flesh, aka a hatchery. Gonna hide out next to this geyser. Reaper coming in. Oh, Bunny. Not able to block that drone turning into the hatchery. Makes me wonder if you should actually fire that initial shot or if you should just charge right towards the actual extractor so you can block the drone. I think that is the right decision to do. However, DRG probably paying attention to that. DongRaeGu does get up that 3rd base, realizing the Reaper was probably gone. Bunny, though, says, you know what? I'm doing the opposite cheese. The reverse cheese, the macro cheese, with a super quick 3rd command center, just off of 1 gas, going into a 3rd CC. Going to be firing up his Hellions soon. And this goes to show how committed Bunny is to this. The fact that he can't even afford to fire up both his Hellions instantly. That is a big deal. Now, if DongRaeGu can spot this 3rd base, that would be quite nice for him, as these lings could run up this ramp. And I'm honestly not sure if the lings would be able to spot the CC. I get the feeling that they could if they try and just make it up the ramp, even if they get blocked. Bunny also getting up his starport now, so we could see potentially a battle cruiser. Could lead into a Banshee or something like that. Hellions for Bunny do end up finding those lings out on the map, which is quite nice, not having to worry about them lurking in the dark. DRG getting up a Roach Warren, similar to game number 1 though. It's just a safety Roach Warren. Hellions charge in, grenade gets tossed, queen gets bounced. Oh, DongRaeGu firing up 6 roaches could be a little bit suspicious. 7, 8. Oh my, does DRG know about this Hellion play? About this super greedy play? He hasn't actually seen the command center, but maybe he realized that the Hellions were delayed or something. I'm not sure what really would have tipped him off, or whether he'd just be going for this build normally. But DongRaeGu has chosen quite a hard counter to his opponent. Right now we're going to be seeing these roaches probably move across the map. This is not a defensive amount of roaches. I believe if you're a Zerg, you start making the defensive roaches around, say, 40 drones, whereas DRG, I think, was building these before then. And yeah, he's definitely not playing defensive. Roaches crossing the map. I don't think Bunny has any idea about this. He is not building a bunker. He's got a few Hellions to his name. This is looking atrocious for Bunny. He's got 19 seconds till Stim is finished, but he's only going to have a tiny amount of Marines to defend with this. The first thing to spot this will probably be his command center. Bunny's going to see all these Ravagers, these roaches, and say, "Rutro." He's pulling everything back to the shop, but I'm not sure if Bunny's going to be able to hold on. We see SCVs pulling into the main base. Bunny is just going to have to hold on. Not a single bunker has been fired up. SCVs are going to die this game. Make no mistake about it. Bunny can hold on top of his ramp, potentially. The damage, though, is going to start racking up.
Yeah, it's looking real bad all of a sudden. You can't get surprised
welcome back
by
to this.
these attacks. I know, right? Right at the moment, everything started happening here.
DongRaeGu just had a wonderful build choice this game to start putting pressure on Bunny.
No Banshees, not even a Liberator. Just trying to go for that quick third base without knowing what the Zerg player was up to, and that's just a build order loss sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Bunny had literally no tip-off this was happening till it hit. Marines doing what they can. You're a Terran with Stim Marines. You're like, I can do this, I can do this. I have Stim, I'm invincible. DRG is droning hard behind this. The upgrades of Bunny are being cancelled.
Denied infantry level 1. That would have been so nice to have, but I mean, yeah, it's 61 to 31 worker count for the Zerg player, and all this army is going to die because Ravagers actually kind of suck against bio and straight up engagements.
Yeah.
But, dang. It's 31 SCVs, and as I always say, a Terran is not dead until they're dead.
No.
So, I mean, Bunny looks really dead, but, you know, he kept his orbital. His third base is alive, technically. He's got a lot of mules in him.
Yeah, he also did clean out all the roaches and Ravagers, which does force DongRaeGu to make a few lings. He's going to have like 30 lings to his name to defend against this. There's a chance a drop could get some damage done. These Marines aren't in the red. Combat shield isn't done yet, though. These aren't +1 Marines. We'll see.
Normally, Terran's not dead until they're dead, but DongRaeGu is playing so stupidly well today. And Bunny has just been kind of half-hearted in his efforts, and again, didn't see that attack coming at all, and he gets an Overlord and a couple Creep Tumors, which is nice. Actually going for it, boosting into the main, but there are Lings ready with a Queen there too, so that's not going to do anything else.
Fly, Medivac, fly. Gotta get to safety. DRG does have the lair. We have yet to see a spire, but I literally click on his lair and we see the spire going up immediately. So DRG thinking miles ahead, getting up his 4th base. There's not a chance Bunny's going to be able to shut down this 4th base, I feel. And I'm not sure what you do as the Terran to try and come back into this game. I mean, Bunny is building SCVs, he's building siege tanks, lots of Marines. Maybe he's just got to throw up a 4th or something and just pray that the sort of changes Terran has had to help in the late game could give him a chance against DRG.
DRG doesn't do anything aggressive in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, that is true. I do think Bunny has a better chance, though, staying back at home and defending than he does trying to make something happen against DRG. And he is getting up a 4th command center, so we do end up seeing that. He's just accepting that he's behind and is going to play the game from there. He's thrown up turrets because he has PTSD from the mutas in game number 1. Another factory on the way. So I honestly like how Bunny is deciding to play this game out.
Mutas are in production. What do we have to deal with that would be the question. No turrets yet. Oh, actually, Natural Base has some turrets. So that is about it for our Terran Flare. He's got to have an inkling that there are Mutalisks on the way. Ooh, I like Drilling Claws. Drilling Claws for his Widow Mines make them a little bit more effective in this situation. Concussive Shells coming in, Armor level 1 coming in for the infantry. DongRaeGu just doing what he did in game 1. It's Lings, it's Banelings, it's Mutalisks, it's upgrades, it's really good control, and we'll see if Bunny can hold against it.
Yeah, I think with the defender's advantage, Bunny can hold on, at least for 3 bases. Taking the 4th is where it's going to get messy. I don't want to see him move out and take this too soon, but he's already saying, right, I want that 4th base up, which makes me a little bit nervous. Also that he hasn't walled this location off. Please do that, Bunny. Fourth base gonna start getting pressured. DRG, knowing the Terran's being pulled towards this location, is planning a hit towards the natural, potentially.
Oh, that wide open space,
yeah,
though.
Please.
You're all right.
Oh, come on. Come on, Bunny, please.
Nope, I don't see any plans. That said, DongRaeGu is going a different direction with it.
Yeah, DongRaeGu
so
doesn't believe that could not be walled either. Okay, in comes the Zerg, gonna hit the 4th base. There is a nice siege tank line for Bunny to retreat to. Can he get ahead of this attack? Will he be able to defend the planetary? Marine stimming. This is quite an ambitious attack from DongRaeGu, just running in with his units. Most of his Banelings weren't even finished. He just wanted to go. I mean, he does kill the PF, though. So, in the end...
Up by Bunny in the north, too, that takes down 10 drones before it gets cleaned up. But DongRaeGu was at 90, so I think he's okay losing 10 there.
Yeah, that wasn't bad for DongRaeGu. Getting the Terran's 4th is huge. Bunny having to rebuild that 4th. At this point, I think he's just gotta play the defensive game. Because Zergs will tend to just throw themselves against you as a defensive Terran. So there's always a chance that you can play it out. These Marines getting picked off. Muta's starting to get some nice damage. Reactors being the preferred target of DongRaeGu. 4 dead reactors. A nice drop from Bunny, hitting the natural base of the Zerg, helping keep pressure off him by being aggressive.
Menace here. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. I mean, this is beat for beat what DRG did to Bunny in game 1. Same Mutaling, Baneling mid-game into Ultralisks for the hammer at the end game there. Adrenal Glands on the way. Upgrades all over the place. Bunny does have more Widow Mines and Marines to deal with the Mutas this time. A couple more Thors here too, but that base, it's just done. Done. The preferred strategy for removing planetaries from the game for Zerg these days.
Oh, these Marines are in trouble. The Banelings are spilling forward. This is an ambitious attack by DongRaeGu. SCV's Marines will fall to those Banelings. So once again, DRG not really trading efficiently if we pull up the resources lost. But it doesn't matter when he's on such an economy. And it's not like he's trading completely horribly. He's picking off bases and killing big clumps of Marines. Bunny's not dead, but with losing his 4th base once more. it's starting to look real sour for him. Having to float over the orbital because he's just lost bases and bases. His economy can't afford to put up for one more of those. Couple of Widow Mines get picked off.
Spread isn't ridiculous for DongRaeGu, but it is connecting all of his bases, which is nice.
Ultras are indeed out for DongRaeGu. A massive Widow Mine connection on a ton of Banelings. If Bunny is going to come back into this game, that could be a good start. The Ultras are kind of getting targeted down, and most of the Banes are gone until these reinforcements show up. It's just too much Zerg, it looks like.
I mean, DongRaeGu is throwing away tons of units here, but he's getting damage done with it. He's killing Terran units. He's leaving him with a handful of Marines and a Widow Mine left here. This 6 o'clock base is gone, and that's your good game. It wasn't a quick